During start of an engine fitted with a brushless AC generator with no commutator rings, the generator is activated by a set of permanent magnets.
The rating of electrical fuses is expressed in amperes. On board present aircraft, the batteries used are mainly cadmium nickel. Their advantages are good charging and discharging capability at high rating, wider permissible temperature range, good storage capability, sturdiness owing to its metal casing.
The ignition system generally used for small aircrafts is a high-tension system. Electrical bonding of an aircraft is used to protect the aircraft against lightning effects, reduce radio interference on radio communication systems, and set the aircraft to a Schigel potential.
A thermal circuit breaker protects the system in the event of overload or overheating.
The Auxiliary Power Unit APU has its own AC generator that supplies the aircraft with three-phase 115, 200, 400, 400 ATS AC. The input and output of a static inverter are respectively DC and AC. During start of an engine fitted with a brushless AC generator with no commutator rings, the generator is activated by a set of permanent magnets. The so-called hot buses or direct buses are directly connected to the battery.
When an underspeed fault is detected on an AC generator connected to the aircraft AC busbar, the protection device opens the generator breaker.
The reason for using inverters in an electrical system is to change DC into AC. Fuses are rated to a value by the number of amperes they will carry.
Assuming the initiating cause is removed, which of these statements about resetting are correct or incorrect? 1. A fuse is resettable. 1 is incorrect. 2. A circuit breaker is resettable. 2 is correct.
When two DC generators are operating in parallel, control of load sharing is achieved by an equalizing circuit which, in conjunction with the voltage regulators, varies the field excitation current of the generator.
The alternators, when connected, are usually connected in parallel mode. Because the connection in parallel of electrical systems on an AC busbar isolation of individual equipment decreases the busbar current consumption.
Assuming the initiating cause is removed, which of these statements about resetting are correct or incorrect? 1. A fuse is not resettable. 1 is correct too. A circuit breaker is resettable.
If two constant frequency AC generators are operating independently, then the phase relation between both generators is unimportant. A busbar is a distribution point for electrical power.
When carrying out a battery condition check using the aircraft's voltmeter, a load should be applied to the battery in order to give a better indication of condition. Generators, when connected to the same bus bar, are usually connected in parallel mode.
When an open circuit occurs in an electrical supply system, the loss of continuity will prevent its working components from functioning.
The capacity of a battery is the amount of ampere hours that a fully charged battery can supply.
On detection of a persistent overvoltage fault on an AC generator connected to the aircraft AC busbars, the onboard protection device opens the exciter breaker and the generator breaker. When a conductor cuts the flux of a magnetic field, an electromotive force EMF is induced in the conductor.
When a battery is almost fully discharged, there is a tendency for the voltage to decrease under load.
The voltage of a fully charged lead-acid battery cell is 2.2 volts. The type of gate which requires all conditions with logic 1 for engagement is ANND.
The power output of a generator is controlled by varying the field strength.
The purpose of the contact breaker is to control the primary circuit of the magneto. The type of windings commonly used in DC starter motors are series wound.
The purpose of a voltage regulator is to control the output voltage of the generator at varying loads and speeds.
The main purpose of a constant speed drive unit is to maintain a constant frequency. The essential difference between aircraft AC alternators and DC generators dynamos is that the induced output windings of the alternators are fixed stator and the dynamos have a fixed inductor field coil.
The function of the generator breaker is to close when the voltage of the generator is greater than battery voltage and to open when the opposite is true.
The function of a NOT logic gate within a circuit is to invert the input signal such that the output is always of the opposite state. The function of a constant speed drive CSD in an AC generating system is to drive the generator at a constant speed.
The surfaces connected to a supply bus bar are normally in parallel, so that isolating individual loads decreases the bus bar current consumption. The so-called hot buses or direct buses are directly connected to the battery.
The resistors R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. The value of the equivalent resistance Req so obtained is given by the following formula. 1 Req equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2.
Assuming a CSD fault is indicated, the CSD should be disconnected, provided the engine is running.
To reverse the direction of rotation of a shunt-type parallel field DC electric motor, it is necessary to reverse the polarity of either the stator or the rotor. The purpose of static wick discharges is to dissipate static charge of the aircraft in flight, thus avoiding radio interference as a result of static electricity.
The most widely used electrical frequency in aircraft is 400 odd Z, regarding 1 a fuse and 2 a circuit breaker. 1 is not resettable, 2 is resettable.
The conditions to be met to activate a shunt generator are presence of a permanent field, minimum rotation speed.
The advantages of grounding the negative pole of the aircraft structure are weight-saving, easy fault detection, reduction of short-circuit risk.
The advantages of alternating current on board an aircraft are flexibility in use, lighter weight of equipment, easy to convert into direct current, easy maintenance of machines. Onboard electrical systems are protected against faults of the following type: AC generator over voltage, AC generator under voltage, over current, over speed, under frequency.
On most transport jet aircraft, the low-pressure pumps of the fuel system are supplied with electric power of the following type: 115 VAC.
On an aircraft provided with resistance and capacitance variation type fire detection loops, a fire alarm is initiated by a temperature increase detected at any isolated point of the loops, or else generally on all the loops. In order that DC generators will achieve equal load sharing when operating in parallel, it is necessary to ensure that their voltages are almost equal.
In flight, if the constant speed drive CSD temperature indicator is in the red arc, the pilot must disconnect it, and the generator is not available for the rest of flight.
In an alternator rotor coil you can find AC. Assuming the initiating cause is removed, which of these statements about resetting are correct or incorrect? 1. A fuse is not resettable. 1 is correct. 2. A circuit breaker is not resettable. 2 is incorrect.
Assuming the initiating cause is removed, which of these statements about resetting are correct or incorrect? Or incorrect. 1. A fuse is resettable. 1 is incorrect too. A circuit breaker is not resettable. One indication of inadequate bonding of aircraft components may be static noises can be heard on the radio.
Load shedding in a system is temporarily or permanently switching off certain electric components in order to avoid overload of electric generators.
In order to produce an alternating voltage of 400 IZ, the number of pairs of poles required in an H generator running at 6,000 RPM is.
In computer technology, a storage peripheral is known as a hard disk drive. In an AC power generation system, the constant speed drive CSD can be disconnected from the engine shaft. Is a hydromechanical system. Can be disconnected in flight.
A CSD of an AC generator may be disconnected in flight. The primary reason for disconnection are low oil pressure and either high oil pressure and our high oil temperature of the generator drop. If one of the 12 cells of a lead-acid battery is dead, the battery is unserviceable.
The operating principle of magnetos in a piston engine ignition system consists of breaking the primary circuit in order to induce a low amperage, high voltage current, which is distributed to the spark plugs.
In aeronautics, the most commonly used batteries are NICAD because they weigh less than lead-acid batteries. Immediately after starting engine with no other electrical service is switched on, an ammeter showing a high charge rate to the battery would be normal and is only cause for concern if the high charge rate persists.
In computer technology, an input peripheral is a keyboard.
In computer technology, an output peripheral is a screen unit.
Because of the input or output relationship of an AND gate, it is often referred to as the all-or-nothing gate. With an aircraft fitted with a fixed-pitch propeller, during flight at normal cruising speed, one magneto fails completely. This will first cause loss of approximately 100 RPM.
Direct current generators are connected in parallel to provide maximum power. Connecting two 12-volt 40 ampere-hour capacity batteries in series will result in a total voltage and capacity, respectively of 24 volts, 40 ampere-hours.
Circuit breakers protecting circuits may be used in AC and DC circuits.
Because of the input or output relationship of an OR gate, it is often referred to as the NE or all gate, regarding one a fuse and two a circuit breaker. One is not resettable, two is resettable.
The capacity of a battery is the amount of ampere hours that a fully charged battery can supply.
The capacity of a battery is given in ampere hours. An AC generator driven by a CSD unit requires a voltage controller to maintain constant voltage under load.
An impulse coupling used on magnetos in piston engines is for providing a retarded spark to start the engine.
An impulse coupling is installed on a magneto of a piston engine to provide a stronger spark on top dead center for engine start. An impulse coupling is installed on a magneto of a piston engine to provide a stronger spark on top dead center for engine starting.
An impulse coupling is inhibited at higher than normal rotational starting speeds by centrifugal force.
An impulse coupling does not function at such speeds above those encountered in starting. Its engaging poles are prevented from operating at higher speeds by centrifugal force. A unit that converts electrical DC into AC is an inverter.
Alternating current can be derived from direct current by an inverter.
A test to assess the state of charge of a lead-acid battery would involve comparing the on-load and off-load battery voltages. A Zenodiode is used for voltage stabilization.
A condenser in parallel with breaker points will intensify current in secondary winding.
A trip-free type circuit breaker is a circuit protection device which will not allow the contacts to be held closed while a current fault exists in the circuit.
The connection in parallel of two 12-volt or 40 amp-hours batteries will create a unit with the following characteristics. 12-volt 80 amp-hours. The frequency of the current provided by an alternator depends on its rotation speed.
the power required for field excitation of the main rotor in modern constant frequency alternators is directly controlled by the voltage regulator.
The true statement among the following in relation to the application of Ohm's law is: current in a circuit is directly proportional to the applied electromotive force. Regarding Ohm's law, the current in a circuit is directly proportional to voltage.
A feeder fault on a direct current circuit results from a flux unbalance between the voltage coil and the series winding turn.
A magnetic circuit breaker is a protection system that has a quick tripping response. A relay is an electromagnetically operated switch.
A relay is a magnetically operated switch.
A CSD unit which has been disconnected in flight may be reset on the ground only after engine shutdown.
A constant speed drive CSD that has been disconnected in flight can be reset only on the ground after engine shutdown. A current limiter fuse in a DC generation system is used to allow a short-term overload before rupturing.
A constant speed drive aims at ensuring that the electric generator produces a constant frequency.
A fault protection circuit in a fire detection system will inhibit the fire detector when the detection line is connected to ground.
The voltage regulator of a DC generator is connected in series with the shunt field coil.
If the electrical load of an AC generator providing a constant output voltage increases, the voltage regulator will increase the intensity of the excitation current.
An inverter is a unit used to convert DC into a C.
The phase relationship between two unparalleled AC generators is unimportant. The advantages of nickel-cadmium compared with lead-acid batteries are reduced charging time and constant output voltage.
AC generators operated in parallel must have the same voltage and phase. On detection of a persistent phase imbalance between an AC generator connected to the main bus bars and other AC generators, the protection device that opens is the tie breaker.
The measured output power components of a constant frequency AC system are kVA and kVAR.
A current limiter fuse in a DC generation system is used to allow a short-term overload before rupturing.
In an aeroplane fitted with a constant frequency AC power supply, DC power is obtained from a transformer rectifier unit TRU.
On an airplane using ACA's primary power supply, the batteries are charged in flight from a transformer rectifier unit.
The frequency of an AC generator is dependent on the number of pairs of poles and the speed of the moving part. In an aircraft equipped with a DC main power system, AC for instrument operation may be obtained from an inverter.
The purpose of a battery control unit is generally to isolate the battery. 1. From the bus when the battery charge has been completed. 2. When there is a battery charge has been completed. 2. When there is a battery overheat condition. 3. In case of an internal short circuit.
If a current is passed through a conductor which is positioned in a magnetic field, a force will be exerted on the conductor. The reasons for disconnecting a constant speed drive CSD of an AC generator in flight are low oil pressure in the CSD and high oil temperature in the CSD.
The purpose of bonding the metallic parts of an aircraft is to ensure zero voltage difference between aircraft components and provide a single earth for electrical devices.
The ignition system of a running piston engine receives electrical energy from rotating permanent magnets. The moving part in an AC generator is usually referred to as the rotor.
A modern auxiliary power unit APU is designed to provide power for ground starting of an engine. It also supplies both in the air subject to certification limitations and on the ground. Air conditioning and electrical services.
When a conductor cuts the field lines of a magnetic field, a Lorentz force is induced in the conductor. The capacity of an accumulator is the quantity of electricity that the battery can supply during discharge.
When the AC generators are connected in parallel, the reactive loads are balanced by means of the excitation current. When a persistent underexcitation fault is detected on an AC generator connected to the aircraft mains with another AC generator, the protection device opens. The exciter control relay, the generator breaker, and the tie breaker.
Because of the connection in parallel of electrical equipment on an AC bus bar, isolation of individual equipment decreases the bus bar current consumption. The capacity of an accumulator is the quantity of electricity that the battery can supply during discharge.
In an aircraft electrical system where AC generators are not parallel mounted, the changeover relay allows power supply to the faulty AC generator's bus bar.
The connection in parallel of two 12-volt or 40 amp-hour batteries will create a unit with the following characteristics. 12-volt 80 amp-hours. When the AC generators are connected in parallel, the reactive loads are balanced by means of the energizing current.
A three-phase AC generator has three separate stator windings spaced at 120 deg.
A static converter is powered by direct current on input, alternating current output. CSD unit is normally provided with means of monitoring during flight the oil temperature and pressure.
The logic symbol shown represents assuming positive logic can invert or NOT gate.